there's a moth in this house, and I'm not too thrilled about that. I just sprayed everything with my cedar wool spray. I have a wool and cashmere spray. I should probably show you, but it's whatever. So I sprayed everything. It's very strong. But there's a stinking moth in my house, and I can't catch him. That's not okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Savannah of Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, and welcome back to one of my weekly updates. This channel is all about knitting. I do spin, but I don't typically show that because my spinning wheel's upstairs, and I never want to take my bobbin off until I'm ready to switch it out. So usually I don't show my spinning until it's fully finished. I apologize for the glare on my glasses. I don't know what's going on today. I need new glasses. That's what I want. I want new glasses. Anyways, today is May 30th, 2022, and it is 8:36 in the morning. Yeah. We're officially done with school, so I am on summer break as well, which is fantastic. I have not done anything yet with Sewlivi Dyes Yarn, but soon. Also, I want to make a quick update. Tomorrow's the 31st. Tomorrow's the last day to order any Lore Olympus themed colors, yarn of that sort. I do have 2 sets left of the minis, but anything else that's pre-order will no longer be available after the 31st. Just want to let you know. I plan to send out a newsletter today, hopefully, when I'm done with this. So we will. That's it. I do have plans for dyeing yarn. I can't do it yet because my husband is home and he does not like the smell of yarn dyeing. So I just have to wait till he goes back to work tomorrow because today's Monday. Yeah. Anyways. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into what I've been doing this past week. Well, scratch that. I wanted to talk about last week real quick. So this past week was our last week of school. It was a week. It felt like it dragged and then it went really fast. The last day of school was Thursday. And it was probably the craziest last day of school I have ever experienced, unfortunately. So the day started out normal. We did have some few like incidences right before school that we had to take care of, unfortunately. So it did kind of put me in a foul mood at first. And then we got to school and things, were okay. Dropped the kids off. I did my crossing guard duty. Then I went home and did my normal stuff, eat breakfast, take a shower, knit, watch YouTube until it's time to go back to work. I get back to work and I'm going through the motions, getting things, prepped for what I do as a lunch/recess aide. So I'm standing there I'm filling up buckets, because we wash the tables in between each grade. So I'm getting the buckets filled, and I get an email from the school. So I'm looking at my watch because I get emails there, and the first email says, "We are aware of the flooding, thank you." And I'm filling up buckets with water, so I'm looking around. I'm in the utility room where there's a washer and dryer as well, and I'm like, flooding? What flooding are they talking about? What's going on? And I'm like, okay, I don't see anything happening here. So I keep filling up the buckets and I take them outside. And then the next thing I know, I get another email. And this one is from my son's teacher. She said she had to send him to the nurse's office. And so I go and check on him, and he's walking down the hallway and he's like, "I can't go to the nurse's office." I'm like, okay. So I have to take him home, actually, because he had an accident. And so this is the last day of school. I did not pack a change of clothing for him because I'm like, we're not going to need this. It's the last day of school. I take him home to get him changed because we live really close to the school. Take him home, get him changed. As we're heading back to the school, I get another email saying, effective immediately, we are doing an alternative dismissal. With the alternative dismissal is what we do when we have inclement weather. It just means that the parents are allowed to come into the school and retrieve their children from their classroom instead of sending all the kids outside. But the key word here was immediately. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? I get back to school and, I get back to school. We're in the parking lot trying to get a parking spot. And this lady's car is like, had pulled out of a parking spot, but hadn't pulled forward to go through. And our parking lot is just 2 rows. It's very small. It's frustrating when parents take up all the parking spots, but, I'm sitting there waiting for her to pull forward, and she rolls down her window and she's like, I can't shift my car into drive. It won't do anything. I'm like, oh no. So luckily I was able to back up and park in a parking spot that I was right next to, like an open one. I was just hoping to get closer to the door, honestly. But, so I park and I'm like, I'm going to push you back into your parking spot. So I help her, I push her car back into the parking spot. She's unfortunately stuck. That sucks. Get back into the school. I send Troy to his classroom just to be there for a moment. And then I go back to the cafeteria. Come to find out that the nurse's office, something happened with the drains and it was backing up really bad. It smelled really bad. Like it was, because the nurse's office has its own bathroom. So it was backing out of that, I guess. I'm not sure what happened. But they had to shut down every bathroom in the school. We couldn't have any running water. So I had to help clean up the cafeteria, which just meant, like, nobody got lunch. Our cafeteria lady, she had already cooked lunch, and nobody was able to eat that. But what we had to do is push tables back inside, because we had pushed them outside for kids to eat outside that day, because it was really nice. We pushed those all back in. Got that. That was really it, because everything else was pretty clean. You know, just take care of, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I check on Troy in his classroom again, and I'm like, okay, well, just get your stuff and head over to your sister's classroom. I get to his sister's classroom. She's bawling. All the girls in her class are just bawling their eyes out. I'm like, okay, this is happening. I mean, she cries every year because she really loves school and she doesn't want it to end. But the fact that it had to end abruptly without parties and goodbyes, like legitimate goodbyes, was kind of hard. Plus, my kids aren't going back to that school next year. We're trying a public school this coming school year, so it's kind of like a big goodbye for them. But yeah, it was rough. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, oh crap, I'm not getting to say goodbye to any of my other friends, you know? So I'm running around to other classrooms where I have friends in, and I'm trying to catch them and say goodbye to them before they get picked up. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And so my boss is like, you can hang out if you want to get your hours in. So I did for probably another hour, just kind of walked around, checked on other kids, kept checking on my kids, doing whatever I could. Turned in my vest, my crossing guard vest, which was sad, honestly. I didn't even get to do my last crossing guard duty. And then eventually we left, and I told my kids we'd go to McDonald's. But it was rough. It was not how anybody expected the last day to end. And I think it was hard for a lot of teachers too, because we're going to have a really big turnaround with staff next year. Like, I heard somewhat up to 18 people decided to quit this year, teachers and staff. So yeah, that was crazy. Okay, now we'll get into the actual knitting and stuff content. I am sorry that took so long, but knitting. I think it was just 2 projects this past week that I've worked on. Oh, excuse me. Well, the first one I'll go ahead and show you isn't really my main project, so there's not too much done on it. This is all that I have on the Rocket Tee. So this is the Rocket Tee by Tana's Fiber Arts. This is all that I've gotten finished. This is actually the back. It's because trying to show you the front is difficult because it's a V-neck, but what's really nice is that it is worked like a cardigan at first. So that's really nice. But yeah, I think I did speak about this last week in the gauge issues. I did check this gauge right here, and it looks like I'm hitting gauge with this yarn on the called for needles. I'll have to double check. Of course, this is unblocked, but this is also cotton, 100% cotton, so I don't think much is going to change in the way of gauge when it comes to blocking this. This is what I've got so far. This yarn that I'm using is Monsoon Calamity Yarns. She no longer makes cakes like this anymore. This one is called Cache or Cache, however you want to pronounce it, C-A-C-H-E. She had like a little squirrel themed set, I guess, and this is one of them from that collection. The word is collection I'm looking for. So this one's called Cache or Cache, I think. So it started out with this color, and then it'll fade to lighter and lighter and lighter. So this is 100% cotton. It is 4 strands, and the way that this yarn is constructed is that she just changes one strand every so often. I don't know the exact way she did this. All I know is that after a while she changes one strand of the cotton and makes these beautiful gradients. I have a raglan sweater that I've used one of these on, and then my Radvent cardigan I've used one of these on as well. They're really fun to knit with. So I have this one, and then I have one more. It's behind my Swift. You can't see it. It is like a purple one, so I'm not sure what I'll do with that one yet. But and there's like 1,000 yards on these. But these are really great for t-shirts and stuff. So I decided to do the Rocket Tee just on a whim because I thought that'd be great for summer. But I haven't worked on it in a couple days, so it's just there if I want to do something simple. My main project is what is this one called? It's called the Cardi V-neck. It's not a cardigan, but it's called a Cardi V-neck. And it is by Anne Wenzel. Anne Wenzel. I've been working on this one mostly. I'm trying to get I think this is the left front piece done. It is slow going-ish. All right, so let me show you where I was last time. So here's the back. This is where I was last time, right here. And I added the last bit. And then I picked up on the one side, on the left side, picked up right there. You can barely see the pickup, but picked up right there and knit, did my increases. I'm still knitting on it. So I have a little bit left on this left front, and then I'll pick up for the right side and do the same thing. This is really starting to, I'm a little concerned, I'll be honest. The pattern, I don't think I have no, I didn't bring the pattern with me. The pattern is written as if you know what the heck you're doing. which I'm not a fan of. I like it written out Barney style, you know, just tell me exactly what I need, give me all the numbers, you know, make me feel stupid so that I know what I'm doing. This pattern is not written like that. This pattern is written as if you know what the heck you're doing and you have got this. So it's gonna be, so I have the neck. This is the back of the neck right here up at the top. I have it on the back of my neck. I have this over the front. And look, it comes way down to my belly button. My belly button is right here. It comes way down. I'm also knitting the small size due to my gauge on this. Yeah. It says to, all right, so it is an oversized sweater. Look, so there's where the back is ending. Here's the front. I'm worried. I honestly thought that the front and the back were going to meet like this, but then that means the shoulder seam is way down here. Yeah, I'm worried. I am currently, see, I wish I had the pattern because it says I need to do, it tells me to do this certain, the increase bit. It's like you're going to increase on the eighth row, and you're going to do it 8 times total. And there is 8. All right, so this is a cable pattern. It's an 8 round repeat. 8 row, I guess you could say. 8 row repeat. And you're supposed to increase the 8th round 8 times. So I did that. And then it says you're going to just knit the pattern straight 9 more times for a total of 72 rows. So, and then I'm going to do another, you know, 6 more rows to end on a certain row. So I'm almost to the end of my 9 repeats. But what I'm confused about is that after the increase section, it doesn't tell me how many rows I should have had. It doesn't say anything about that. But after the additional 9, it says I should have a total of 72, I think is the number, 72 rows. Well, there's 72 rows after the 9 repeats. Like the 9 repeats equal 72 rows. That does not count the first 8 repeats that I did. So it's way long. Like, I'm like, should have been, I'm like, that wouldn't have worked. I wouldn't have been able to do 8 repeats for those increases, plus another 9 repeats to equal 72. Hi, it's Editing Savannah here, and I'm obviously working on this, and it dawned on me to possibly check Ravelry. I just wanted to see everybody else's, what is this, the Cardi B neck. I wanted to see other people's sweaters, because I'm in the middle of a round, but you know, it doesn't matter, because guess what? I gotta take this out. I looked, and I was looking, and I'm like, nobody's is as deep as mine. Why is my front so stinking deep? Like, I don't get it, you know? I don't get it. So I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and nobody has any pattern notes or anything like that. So I'm just like, I mean, or what I'm looking for about this piece right here, and why mine's so deep. So I look at the pattern again. This time I have it in front of me because I was actually working on this while editing. And I read it, and it says, I'm just going to read it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Continue repeating rows 1 and 2 while at the same time working increases every 8th row as established above, a total of 8 times. Okay. Did that, no problem. Now there's going to be a total of so many stitches on your needles. And the next section says work straight while repeating rows 1 and 2 until the charted pattern for fronts has been worked a total of 9 times. A total of 72 rows in pattern have been worked. My confusion this whole damn time was to work another 9 repeats, which is an 8 row repeat. So this is my pattern. It's 8 rows. I read this as work it another 9 times, not a total of 9 times. So that means I only had to do it 1 more time. I've done it 9 more times, or another 8, I should say. So that is where my mistake happened. This is why it's so long. Now, because I don't know how to count the rows in this cable pattern, because I don't know how to pick up or where my stupid increases stopped. I'm gonna have to rip this all the way back out. All the way back out to where and I had already picked up. Maybe I can rip it back to right before I start the cable so I don't have to pick up stitches. I'm glad I figured it out though and didn't pick up and do the other side either. So all I have to do is rip this all out and only do it a total of 9 times, not 8 plus 9. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This is what sucks about patterns. I'm really bad. Like, I read this part so many times because I was so confused in the beginning. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm probably gonna cut out what else I said about this sweater. I don't know yet, but I wanted to throw this in there. So yeah, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I haven't read further into the pattern yet. Anything about doing, joining for the body or doing the sleeves. I have not read any of that yet to see if my fears are irrational. But yeah, it's according to where the shoulder seam is, which in the picture, it looks like it only comes right here on her. Like it drops this far back, not way down here, which this to me would look like it's going to do if I am joining, if this is where I would be joining. Because I'm like, why else would I stop the back here but have the front so much longer? You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little nervous. Just a tad nervous. But yep. Okay, yarn on this. Yarn I am using this cone. This is Holst Garn Super Soft. It is in the oatmeal colorway. I've already pulled some of it off. I wind off like a chunk of it at a time. When I first started winding off yarn for this sweater, I actually was quite nervous because I was like, oh, I don't want to break into this. I want to keep this. But I was like, I bought it to use it, so I need to use it, right? So I got over that little bit of anxiety, I guess, about using this and started using it. I can always buy more, right? But yeah, using the oatmeal color in the Holst Super Soft. I am holding it double with this. This is Drops Kid Silk in the light beige color. I'm not sure what the color number is. I just know on Wool Warehouse they call it light beige. So this is my second skein so far, or second ball, I should say, of this Drops Kid Silk. So I've used, for all of this, I've used 1 and I guess a half, which is good. And then the third color, because you're holding 3 strands together, is just a plain white mohair. This is a mohair I bought from Wool to Dye For to dye when I did my my Whitmore cardigan. I dyed mohair to hold with that. This is extra. So this is still the first skein. I think these are 50-gram skeins. So this is still the first one. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's pretty flat. So I'll have to wind up another one soon. But yeah, those three together make this beautiful light beigey color. I know this is really awkwardly weird and stuff. Let me go ahead and move this. Even though I know I'm almost done with this left front, and I'll be picking up for the right front, I'm still gonna just slide this progress keeper here. I've been wanting to move this progress keeper for a while, to be honest, but I can't. I can only do it for videos. I could put other progress keepers in to show me my daily progress, but So yep, this one will be done in a minute. I'll get the other side picked up. It took me a while to pick it up, actually. I was at my knitting group on Tuesday when I picked up, and I think I spent a good 30 plus minutes. Like, I'd pick up, wasn't right, so I'd pull back a little bit, pick up again, pull it back, pick it up, until I finally got it. But I did. I got it. And it looks pretty seamless. It only looks a little weird because the pattern does not match up exactly. One's going this way and the other one's going kind of to the side. But yeah, that's my main piece for now. Yeah, those are the two whips that I have. No new starts, but come June 1st, I'm gonna have, I don't know if I'll have 3 new starts or just 1 and wait on the other 2, but June 1st, I get to cast on my Attune shawl with my hand spun, finally. I cannot wait, cannot wait. So I have all this hand spun that I've spun. This is going to be my, I believe, the main color. It is a beigey brown and a cream marled together. I forgot what this fiber is. It's merino. I know it's 100% merino. Oh, it's a humbug and ecru that I spun up together. That's what it is. Humbug and ecru. And those are from Busy, I believe I got those from Busy Bee Fibers. And then these are my contrast colors. So you only need 2 colorways, but I wanted to use my Scrappy Sock bundles from Wound Up Fibers. And look at how very different that they are. So these are 2 different bundles that I bought at 2 different times. They're just scrappy bundles of Superwash Merino. She now does offer, sorry, she does now offer scrappy bundles of different types of wool, but her initial scrappy bundles were just like Superwash Merino and Merino Nylon blends. So yeah, these are just scrappy bundles that I took and I separated them, spun each one and plied it together. So mine is going to be very different. I'm not sure if I want to start with this one or this one, whichever one, you know, I want closer to my neck. Might go dark and then fade to the light. I don't know. We're going to see how this all works out. But I am very excited to cast this on. I really want to just cast it on now, but it's not June 1st. I have to wait. Then Whip Go was called, the Whip Go numbers for June were called on the 27th. So unfortunately, I did not get any whips in that number. They're both 2 new starts from my Make 9 board. And the first one was the half and half triangle wrap, which is from Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. Free pattern from Pearl Soho. It's just a giant square shawl that you fold in half to make a triangle shawl. A lot of people have made this. I've been wanting to make this for a while. That's why it's on my Make 9. So I have my yarns here. I'm going to have to cake them up. Well, I'm only going to cake up the one I'm going to start with. But these are my colors for my half and half wrap or triangle wrap shawl. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to make the larger size. So I have 3 of each of these colors. This is the Pearl Soho Linen Quill. It is 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. Stuff is really nice. I haven't I mean, I haven't knit with it yet, but it's really nice to touch, and I want more of this stuff. So my colors are, this is called Peach Stone. Sorry, my throat's dry. Peach Stone and Oatmeal Gray. There's a hair. So these are my colors. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with yet. Okay, the second project that was called for Whip Go is the Nello house socks by Tiffanyland. I've had this pattern in stash for 2 years now. They're just like house slipper socks. They're nothing too fancy. So you hold 2 strands of fingering together. There is a pattern-ish on it, you know, just knits and pearls type of pattern, I believe. And then there's a super cute tassel that you can attach if you want to. So that got called, and I've been wanting more socks lately. So I'm gonna just go ahead and knit those, even though I could make socks on my machine in a day. I'm gonna knit these socks, and I wasn't sure what colorway I wanted to use. I've got a lot of single skeins of fingering weight in there, so I could really pick any, but I think I'm gonna go with this one that I have. This is the Lemonade Shop. She used to live in Castle Rock, but she's moving to Connecticut, so no longer near me. But this is her self-care colorway. I figured if there's going to be knits and pearls pattern on the sock, it'd be better if I went with more something like this. This is variegated. I was going to pick a speckled yarn, but I thought that would hide a lot of the detail. This might bring out some of the detail better. But yeah, this is on her Mighty sock, which is 465 yards, 100 grams, 75/25 superwash merino nylon. So I think I'll do that. So I need to cake this one up as well. And so yeah, you just hold that, or you're gonna hold that double. So I'm debating if I want to just cake it up, split it in half, or if I'm just gonna cake it up and pull from both ends, the inside and the outside. Not sure yet. Not sure yet. So yeah, those are the upcoming plans for this week, even though the first is on Wednesday. I wish the first was now. I wish the first was right now. My anniversary is coming up on Saturday. It'll be our 9th anniversary. So that's fun. We've been together for 11 years this year, I think. I don't know. But our 9th anniversary is coming up, so that's exciting. That is all that oh no, that is not all that I have. Crap. I was going to show you. I actually combed out some of my fiber, my fleece. I sat outside and did this because it was nice. I got the nails in my comb. I only did 1 layer instead of 2. I'm not sure if I want to do 2 layers yet. I combed it. Everything was going okay-ish. Not very good at it. I don't know if I overcombed or if my poor fleece has just been through the ringer. But I still have quite a bit of vegetation matter in there, as you can see, and I've already spun up a bit of this, and there's still quite a bit of vegetation matter even in the spun yarn. Like when I'm spinning it, a lot of it falls out onto my lap, but a lot of it is still in the yarn itself, so I'm not sure if this was a good fleece. Also, I was talking to somebody on Facebook in a spinning group, and I asked her because I noticed that this one doesn't have it a lot, but some of the other ones got a lot of neps in it, which are like, if you're gonna knit with a tweed, or no, not a tweed. Is it a tweed? You know, where the yarn has little neps in it, like that's supposed to be there. So this yarn is a tweed. Okay, it is a tweed. So yeah, see the little neps in there? These are meant to be in there. My fleece is not, the characteristics of this fleece is, which is a cormo, is not supposed to have neps in it. She said, the lady I was talking to said that usually means that the fiber or the fleece had been damaged in some way, whether washing, processing, whatnot. So I might have done it myself, but it has a lot of neps in it, which I'm needing to pull out when I'm spinning. I don't know. I don't know if it's my combing technique and this being like thick nails. Because every comb, like fiber wool comb that I've seen people use, like legitimate ones, I think their things are thinner and sharper. So it could be this. So I'm thinking about trying a different thing. Like the lady I was talking to, she showed her beautiful roll legs. So she told me she flicks out the ends, the tips and the cut ends of her locks, and then she puts it on a, what is that thing that I got called? Carding, I forgot what it was called. You know, the board that I showed? She did that, and then she just made roll legs. Her fiber looks amazing. So I'm debating on trying that, because I didn't do the whole fleece. I just did like 6 little bundles like this. So I might try that next. But I am kind of disappointed with the amount of vegetation matter that is still in my fleece. So I don't think I'm going to be ordering fleece online again. If I do buy a fleece, which I'm hoping to buy one, at least one more at some point, I'm going to do it in person where I can inspect the fleece myself. So yeah, okay. I've talked forever. This is a long one. I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.